What's up YouTube, Capital G here, looking at the new boss monster for the structure deck are coming out in Japan soon. This is a new counter fairy boss monster, and I am liking this card a lot to keep you guys, or not to keep you guys in the loop, but to catch you guys up to speed for some of you guys who are like, what structure deck are you even talking about, Cap? So a little while ago, and I didn't cover this on my channel because it really wasn't newsworthy, a little while ago Konami revealed that there was going to be a new structure deck and it was going to be based around fairies. Now they didn't really say what type of fairy support it would be, if it was going to be a brand new archetype, something like, I guess, agents and, you know, something towards that. Maybe it would be more agent support, or if it was going to be counter fairy based, because obviously there's a lot of fairy stuff out in the game, so we really didn't have any information to go on. But if the boss monster is any indication, I'm gonna say that this is going to be counter trap based, and it's gonna be, you know, basically reviving like counter fairies and whatnot. And I've played counter fairies at regionals before. I played it during Teledad. I had a whole lot of fun back in the day with Vandy Dragon and stuff like that, back when Solemn Judgment was at 3. Those were the days, man. It was like the glory days of counter fairies. But you know, you can still play like Demise counter fairies right now, and I'm not gonna lie, this monster is actually really good. And you guys know Konami's track record for structure decks has gotten a lot better. Look at things like Dark Law, look at the boss monsters like the Superconductor Tyranno. These boss monsters, ever since like Master Hyperion, have just gotten better, because man, structure decks back in GX, guys, those cards were so fucking garbage. Like, you couldn't summon any of them, like Dark Eradicator, Warlock and shit. Like, you couldn't summon those cards. So this is Angel Paladin Arch Parashaft, which obviously as soon as I heard that name, I was like, yo, Air Knight Parashaft. And I believe that there's a Synchro Parashaft as well. I think it's like Avenging Knight Parashaft. I'm gonna guess Crimson Crisis? It's either Crimson Crisis or Crossroads of Chaos. It wasn't, I feel like it wasn't Duelist Genesis, but I feel like it was one of the first 2 or 3 sets of 5Ds. And usually the Parashaft cards all have piercing effects, so I pretty much thought that it would have a piercing effect built into it. But my favorite is obviously the old school Air Knight Parashaft. That card is a motherfucking G in GOAT format. This is a level 9. It's a light fairy, okay, because most fairy support is obviously light. 2800 attack, 2300 defense. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, if you activated a counter trap card, or you negated the activation of a monster effect or spell trap card, well, spell/trap card, you can banish 2 fairy monsters from your hand, from your field or graveyard. That was like, I was like, thank God, please don't make me banish from my hand, bro. You're going to make this card trash. But as soon as I saw graveyard, I was like, okay, I'm on board now. Or your graveyard, accept this card, special summon this card. Okay. So to me, this is a really good summoning condition. It actually makes me, it kind of feels like a much better version of Vandy Dragon. I wanted this card to be so good. It was a fun card, but it didn't always work out as well as I wanted it to, Basically the same type of summoning conditions. If you activate a counter trap or resolve one, or you just happen to negate something that your opponent activated by some other random means that aren't with a counter trap, I guess if it's like with a monster, like I guess a Stardust Dragon or some random shit like that, you can summon this from your hand or your graveyard. That's really good. Doesn't have to be in your hand, and you can summon it from your graveyard using resources from your graveyard. Second effect, if this card attacks a defense position monster, this is where I knew the piercing damage would obviously kick in. Inflict piercing damage, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So that was expected. All the Parashaft monsters have some sort of like piercing damage. But the third effect was something that I was hoping for, because I was thinking like, well, Air Knight used to have, you know, if you pierce your opponent for battle damage, you get the draw card, or if you just do battle damage at all. I was like, man, if I could get a draw on this card, that would be kind of nice. But actually, maybe Konami one-upped that. It says if this card inflict battle damage to your opponent, you can add 1 Parashaft card. So I'm not sure if they want us to still run Air Knight or if there'll just be more Parashaft cards in this. Well, yeah, maybe there'll be more Parashaft cards in this structure deck, or at least you can search another copy, or a counter trap card from your deck to your hand. That's the important thing, being able to search a copy of Solemn Strike. Like, sign me up for that shit. I do battle damage with this card, and I just get the search Solemn Warning, I get the search Solemn Strike. What was that card? Shutline you can possibly search, although I don't know how many people are gonna be playing Shutline, but hey, if you're playing Counter Fairies, maybe Ultimate Providence, obviously a good card. I like that. I mean, unless Konami is going to put Strike at 1, there are definitely enough good counter traps in the game that make this at least worth keeping your eyes on. And I'm interested to see if there are going to be more Parashaft cards, or if maybe they just wanted to search other copies of it. You'd have to think that, because usually the cover card is like the ultra rare, and then there'll be a couple of like super rares, and usually structured decks have like at least 6-7 new cards. So you'd hope that there would be some more other like Parashaft cards that maybe they're counter traps, maybe they aren't, maybe they're monsters, who knows. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, if I made any mistakes in this video, please forgive me. I think this is this is the 6th Yu-Gi-Oh video I've shot tonight, but hey, I've said before, Yu-Gi-Oh, or excuse me, Yu-Gi tubing is a 24-hour-a-day job. You guys will probably see some videos that I shot tonight, but I shot them at like 10 in the morning or 10 at night, and then you're still seeing me shooting videos at like 7 in the morning. But hey, life of a Yu-Gi tuber. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.